Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know. Hopefully, the volume was coming through. I don't really know, but this seemed like it didn't there, so I'm not sure what happened with the intro. One of those days today. Heck of a time getting here this evening for this, I guess, Thursday, August 29th. Hard to believe summer is coming to an end with the BC Labor Day long weekend coming up, or I guess nationally, it's many long weekends for everyone in the country. But of course, I just hope everyone is doing well as we think about as we're heading into this long weekend. My name's Keith Henry. I'm the president of the BC Métis Federation, and of course, happy to be with you live on this evening, on this Thursday, in this beautiful evening here in Vancouver at our head office. I'm just a lot of items to share with you today. I don't unfortunately have our usual trio of backup band. Our vice president, Renee Therian, is nursing a separated shoulder. Some of you might have seen, but I do have Renee with me on the show tonight. And what I want to do is just prepare us as we get ready for our 13th annual general meeting that will be happening next, obviously, in almost a little over a week from now in Victoria, BC. That's our 13th annual general meeting. So lots of information to share with you this evening. I'll show some cultural clips and just share some information with everybody. So what I want to start with this evening is just, I guess, a little bit of information. Uh, I don't know. I'm just going to check something out here. I just want to share a little information about what's happening with the BC Métis Federation coming up. Well, the information just generally right now, but there's a lot of things that are moving parts, I guess, if you will. A lot of items that we are going to have to move on, I guess, more than anything. So, sorry, I'm stammering a bit tonight because it just feels like there's a lot of things going on. But of course, um, I want to start with just sharing a little bit about our Michif language program. I just want to say thank you. There was a Michif language laughs and sharing circle. The cultural team is proud to announce the launch of monthly Michif language laughs and sharing circles on Zoom. They'll be held every fourth Wednesday of the month. And I know they just had one the other night. I want to say thank you to our Michif language team led by our Vice President, Renee Therian, of course, Jeannie and Marla. And it sounds like they had some members that just there was just get online, discuss, talking the French dialect of Michif. And yeah, it sounds like it was a great time for with one and all. So I just want to continue to encourage people, if there is interest, to make sure you contact our team, of course, led by our director of Michif Language, Jeannie Cardinal, and of course Marlon Renee is our vice president. So lots of good information there. Just want to say congratulations to those that were able to participate on that and be part of that sharing circle. Of course, I also want to say this weekend, oops, pardon me, uh, to our friends in the Vancouver area. We have we've been trying to form a sort of a Greater Vancouver Métis organization here, and there's a Métis Heritage and Storytelling. It's actually again here at the office this Saturday, August 31st from 12 till 3. So if you want to come, I know there's door prizes, Métis fiddle music, chili and bannock and more. Again, that's open to our members in the Vancouver area, Lower Mainland. There's, I think, 47 people coming out for this weekend, and really looking forward to just having just some cultural gathering. It's led by Danielle and Joe Desjardins from our organization, and they've been trying to just pull people together to help use the space here at 390 3665 Kingsway. And just want to say, members, come on out. Look forward to hearing. I know I'll be there for part of it, of course, this weekend, and looking forward to seeing members. So just look, if you're looking for something to do on the long weekend, you're not away with family and friends, don't hesitate to come out with the Métis Heritage and Storytelling event here right in the office for 3 hours, and you get some food and just some camaraderie. I know that people are wearing cultural sort of Métis sort of regalia, whether that's ribbon shirts. I know some people are suggesting they might wear their family sashes, whatever, whatever is cultural to your family, certainly we would welcome that. So again, if you are interested, don't be afraid to reach out to Daniel or Joe Desjardins. Both of their contacts are on our website, and certainly would welcome that. So we'll look forward to. I know I'll see some of you. I'll be there, of course, on the weekend for a little while, as I said earlier. Um, what I would like to do though now, because I know that our good friend Renee Therian isn't here this weekend, But I'm sure Renee's watching. And so what I would like to do is just share a little bit of Renee although he's not here, we're going to share a little bit of his band from, it was up in, at the, our friends had the Skeena River or Skeena Valley Métis or music festival in Terrace here recently in a few weeks ago in August. And Spring Fever, that's Renee's band. Let's just do a little clip of Renee playing his fiddle. And Renee, I just want to say, is one tough old man. He had a separated shoulder, and here he is fiddling with a separated shoulder, and it's a quite a significant separation. So Renee, thank you for your work and your commitment to your own community events, both locally and then provincially. So here's a little music by Renee Therian. So I just want to say, thanks Renee for being on stage. Thanks Renee for the work you're doing, and of course that was I just have to say again at the Skeena Music Festival, to our friends at the Skeena River Métis Community Association, thank you for your dedication, for continuing that Métis sort of weekend of culture and music in the Terrace area. It was Renee there. I saw him in a ribbon shirt. I've never seen him wear a ribbon shirt before. He's pretty low key guy that way, but he's really a strong traditional Métis fiddler. As many of you watch the show, he can't be here tonight because he's trying to let his shoulder heal, but he literally is playing the fiddle and one of those shoulders is separated. So I just want to say, like, thank you, Renee, and we just appreciate the work you do and your dedication to the Métis community time and time and time again. So, it's just very, very appreciated, Renee, and just how much we just really want to say thank you for the work you're doing. So with that, I want to slip us into the main show tonight, and we just kind of kept it a little bit low key because we do have a board election. We have elections with our provincial board of the BC Métis Federation every 2 years, and there is a resolution to increase the terms from 2 years to 4 years. And most of you that have been following us, and if you've been looking on the website, you'll know that there's a resolution that's been posted about that extending that. So, but we're right now part of this annual general meeting coming up will be the electing the board. But there's a lot of other business and there's a lot of other fun, and we've tried our best as an organization to make sure that everyone's going to have a great time. And I'm really proud to say that our team's done a really good balance between reporting to members, giving information, the business of the organization, things like the election, but at the same time also ensuring that we're really sharing the vision of where we're going and having great cultural fun. And if you haven't seen the agenda, certainly, I just continue to hope that these sorts of things uh, will inspire you to come on out. So right now, as it stands, we've got about 150 delegates. It's next Saturday, September 7th. Registration starts at 8 a.m. and it goes till 10. But the meeting itself, and I'll go through the agenda a little more in detail. But the agenda starts at around 9 a.m. It goes till 5 that day. Then there's a break, and then we have what we're calling a Métis kitchen party in the evening, and it's led by some cultural leaders, and there'll be some great music. And we're doing a lot of things to just thank members for coming. We're providing for full members that attend, and we've got many delegates registered. We're giving them a Tim Hortons gift card as a thank you for being there, and obviously breakfast, lunch, and then of course a very nice plated dinner in the evening has been all organized. And there's lots of things we're adding to this. We're also, for those of you that haven't been following along, the Federation has put $3,000, and we're going to uh, I guess a competition with bingo and the evening event with a Métis kitchen party. Well, bingo's been really relevant for many of our families, mine included, I might add. So we're gonna have just some fun bingo, and you're not paying. We are just literally asking members. They can join. That if you're a full member and you've been there at the AGM, you will get a token or some sort that will ensure you get bingo cards for the evening. And so you have to be at the AGM. You can't just show up at the dinner and get bingo cards. So the $3,000 it'll be 7 games and a series of prizes that we're going to provide to members as another way of thanking. And we're going to be some lucky members. Some of those prizes are $1,000 bingo games. So someone's going to go home very happy, or a couple of people hopefully will go home very happy. And we've made it internal. Our agreement is the staff, even though some of us are full members, we can't play. So it's really meant for the members that are taking their time out, whether you're from Vancouver Island or Northern BC or Northwest BC or Northeast or Thompson Okanagan area. You will be able to have that. So I think that's really, really important that we put back to the community. So what I want to do is just, again, quickly go through the actual agenda. And I just want to share a bit of that information because I think those are things that I think people are really going to want to spend a bit of time with. So on that, I just quickly on the agenda itself. So what we will be printing out, it'll be a beautiful document. You see it on your screen now. This is our 13th annual general meeting. It's obviously September 7th in Victoria, BC. So I'm going to just quickly this is a layout, a printed, like if you're seeing an electronic version of a print layout of this. You'll see that the registration is from 8 till 9:30 in the morning at the hotel itself. We have a area on the main floor. Opening prayer, Métis Elder. We did ask local First Nations if they want to, both the Esquimalt and the Songhees First Nation. We sent protocol requests. We don't have any confirmation yet, but we've done that we did it over a month ago. But there's been some correspondence, but we haven't finalized. So if we get protocol welcome from First Nations, we'll absolutely add that to the agenda. And then we have asked Renee Therian to give us one Métis fiddle tune at 9:10 a.m. And then we've got opening remarks by, of course, Renee as our current vice president, and I will add some remarks at 9:15. We'll call the meeting to order, verification of quorum. Pretty standard agenda, if you will. You can see the rest of it, and we will deal with the approval of the AGM chair, and we have asked an individual to chair the meeting, and so we'll be looking for a motion to see that person approved. And then we get into the business of the AGM, right? And that's where it'll be really important where delegates and members have a chance to sort of speak up, ask questions, and there's lots of information here. And I don't want to go through it all other than to say that, you can see on the screen itself, if you're following along, there's the sort of standard stuff, but I want to say that, we have a lot of information around things like the new strategic plan. If you look at 1120, our leadership group a number of months ago set out to build a new 3-year strategic plan. So for April 1st, 2025 till March 31st, 2028, we're now finalizing that draft internally, and it's not approved yet, but we want to share a draft vision. And the board that gets elected will be responsible to continue to finalize this document. Do we update it? Do we make any changes subject to any election outcomes? What are the things we want to do? And so there's some pretty exciting things we feel as the leadership group. And I know I'm acclaimed as the president again, so I thank everyone for that support. But we need a strong board because we are creating a vision for over the next basically 3 or 4 years. That's going to be pretty aggressive and quite a lot of work. And so we definitely will be looking to the leaders collectively to work together to find ways to make this plan real. And it's a vision, right? It's all of that. So at lunchtime, we've got Métis Bev, Karen Dion. She's coming in from Alberta. She's a fiddler and guitar player, and she's going to be mostly, I guess, a fiddler. Sorry. and then there's some dancers. We've reached out to all the political parties, provincially. There's a provincial election coming up in October. So far, the only party that's agreed to come, well, we saw the BC United sort of ended their campaign yesterday, which I think shocked everyone in British Columbia. But the BC, the NDP, the minister, Mr. Rankin, said he can't make it, and we're still sort of waiting to see if anyone else from that party is going to show up. We hope they do. In terms of the provincial, because of the provincial election, and here's an opportunity to speak to our delegates, but we haven't had confirmation yet. And the Green Party hasn't responded at all. So of the three main parties that are in the provincial election in October, the only ones that have jumped on this is the Conservatives. So there's a representative from the North that's asked to speak at noon. And then if you look in the evening, which I'll come back to, the John Rustad, who's the leader of the Conservatives, he's agreed to come speak in the evening to say a few words to the Métis delegates. So, we appreciate that. And the invitation is open for everyone. So we're just trying to give all political parties the opportunity to speak to us, our community, our partners, and our members. So it's up to them if they want to do that. So that's part of what we're doing at lunch. And then we get into the afternoon, the election. At 1 o'clock is the election. We've got a chief electoral office. We've got ballots made up. They're already there. So we elect our bylaws allow minimal 5 up to 14. So our board has established the number of 9, and that's how we've been sort of advancing. And as we advance our governance, we'll continue to look at, is that the right thing? Should we change? But we haven't. That's for another day. For this election, we've determined that it'll be 9 again, 4 executive and 5 directors at large. And so, there is an election process. Delegates will be asked to elect 5 directors at large because the 4 executive have been acclaimed. And so we're quite excited about that. There's 7 at-large people. They will speak. They will have an opportunity to present, plead their case if they will, and seek election. So that's all part of good governance, and I think that's great. And then we're going to get in after that. We've got some committee updates. We're going to be providing the youth elders and women committee sort of some quick updates from some of the initial work that we've been trying to initiate for our Métis youth work, our Métis elders work, and our Métis women. And then at 3 o'clock, we'll get into sort of other priority initiative updates. And so we have a series of departments, and they will be giving very specific updates. What's happened from April 1st of our new fiscal year this year basically till September. Like, how are things advancing? Any key things we're learning? Any key opportunities? And you can see we've got a number of areas we're going into, right? Whether it's the Métis housing work that's being done, the ongoing development of our Michif language, Project Coming Home, which is the Métis Cultural Center, updates about the Emergency Assistance Program. There's a number of things we're trying to do to support members in the work that we do with the Federation. So lots of information, lots of stuff, and we have to be done at 4:55. I just will just quickly go up into the evening, the Métis Kitchen Party here. Métis Kitchen Party, doors open at 6:15, dinner's at 6:30. Our MC is Jocelyn Izard. She's from Fort St. John, one of our community leaders, up with the Peace Region Métis Community Association. John Rustad's going to say something, the Conservative Party leader of BC. And then after that, we got Karen Dion and Métis Bev Performance again. And then we've got a special ceremony. We're going to be swearing in our Federation leaders at 7:10. And we've got some special ceremony we're going to be doing around that. And I don't want to say too much, but we've organized something quite nice. We've got bingo games. The first games 1 to 3, and you can see game 1 will be 2 line or top or bottom line. Game 2 is line down the B's. Third game is letter C for culture. Well, there you go. And you can see $100, $200, $300 is the first 3 games. So there's $600 up for prizes. After that, we're going to have Spring Fever performance, and that's Renee and his cohorts and his colleagues. And then we have bingo again at 8:30, and that'll be game. You can see game 4 and 5, and that's 1 line anyway, and that's $200. And then game 5 is letter M. That's our first $1,000 giveaway. So that's huge. Like, I know, so a lot of people lots of money on the line there. So we're handing out the bingo cards and dabbers. You don't need to bring dabbers, or if you have one, you can bring it by all means. If you're a full member and you've been there for the AGM, you get a card, right? Again, I stress you must be at the annual general meeting, participating in the annual general meeting to get to play for this. So lots of money up for grabs. Then we're at 9 o'clock. Our very own Roseanne Pierce and Roseanne Forget and Ray, her husband, Rebel Heart. They'll be performing, and we're very proud of the singing that they do. I guess the bass and drum playing that Ray does. And then our final game at 9:30, game 6 and 7, and that's just basically for one liner, four corners for 200. And the final $1,000 prize is game 7, and that's the letter F for Federation. So, we'll see how that goes. And we're quite, we're happy to hand out the resources. We're happy to contribute back to the community. And it's, again, a small way for us to just have some fun while we're doing all these other things and really have a nice evening event. We're trying to give everyone a place. We really want to have families enjoy and have some fun. And we have some other special gifts, but I'm not going to say it right now till you're there, because you'll get them when you register. But there's some other things that we've organized. So this is really meant, Métis Kitchen Party is very cultural. That's the way we've always referred to a lot of our celebrations historically, or in the last number of decades anyways. And yeah, we just want people to enjoy themselves, have some fun, and we're looking forward to seeing you. So again, we're not sure how many delegates are going to show up from the island that are full members in addition that haven't registered, but right now we're almost right at 150. We're at 100 and I think 43 or 147, somewhere in that area. So yeah, we're going to have a very full room, full evening, and we're just very thankful to all of our members for caring about the governance of the organization. So yeah, we hope you enjoy it, and we want you to come out. We want you to have a lot of fun with us. So last thing I'm going to say on this is I just want to say thank you right now to our sponsors. We've had tremendous sponsorship support, and I'm just going to maybe make this larger for the sponsors, because it's very important that we acknowledge that. Real level, these are this vault is a sponsor of $10,000. Dumont level, you're getting into the above 5,000 mark, Enbridge and TL Housing Solution. And then we've got a number of like $2,500 sponsors with CanGas, and Coastal GasLink, TC Energy, call it the Sash level. And then the Friendship is $1,000 sponsors, or less, ATS, Kiewit, Land Sea, Mar West, Sirius Murphy, Trans Mountain. We just want to say thank you. Like, we've never had this much support from partners. Some of these are very, some of this, one was prior a Métis-owned business and then sold off. But the truth is there's many, many different partners we've worked with here. And I just want to say thank you to all those partners for the contributions you've made to helping us build good governance and just a really robust governance for our organization, because your contributions were significant to help us make this AGM, and those are what have helped us do a little bit more cultural gifting that people will see when they get there. I don't want to say right now because we're very proud of what we've done for the full members. So yeah, I know that there's there's some folks online. I know I see you commenting and hearts and all the rest of it, but I want to say thank you those who are online watching. But I want to show just a little more culture, because that's the whole purpose of the work we do. So there's Back to Batoche just happened here this last month. I'm going to show you a clip. It's a little long, so I'm going to probably stop it at around 2:20. It's the Northern Prairie Dancers. They were playing in Batoche in July. So I thought, hey, let's show that. That's back where my family's from, right around from Fish Creek, Batoche area. So Back to Batoche days are important for many of our families still, even though I haven't been back there for years myself because I've been in BC. But let's show a little bit of culture as we get ready and then celebrate who we are as Métis people. Well, I don't know everyone, but if that doesn't get your feet tapping and uh, and uh, and all that stuff, I mean, what an amazing group. I think when I watched that, I mean, I was only going to show the first 2 minutes and then cut and show the rest, but the truth was it just kept going. And the Northern Prairie Dancers are an amazing dance group, and I just wish I could dance like that. And some traditional Métis dancers don't like the cloggers or the makes that tapping noise that the almost like tap shoes, but it's slightly different. But I sort of like that. It gives you that sense of rhythm in that, and it just you really realize how incredibly skilled a lot of these dancers are, and I just think that it's great and it's beautiful to see. And to me, that like I grew up with a lot of that kind of specific dancing, and it's beautiful to see. And I just think it's a great way for us to celebrate culture, and we're going to contribute to that kind of dancing and that at our annual general meeting next week that I talked about a while ago. And obviously, it's really really great. So yeah, I loved it. I was back to Batosh days recently, and I think that was great. A little later, I will show another clip of Corey Putra and some jigging and some fiddling at the same time. But I want to go back a little bit to some of the information I want to share about obviously what's coming up uh, uh, with the organization. We have some events that are unfolding, some coming up in the near future. But let's, our coastal, our conservation department, they're continuing the sweeping the shores. I just want to let people know if you want to put it in your calendar book. The next, they're doing a Blackie Spit Park, Surrey sweeping the shores, and it's basically in this area the river and that. And so I don't really know where Blackie Spit Park is, but I just want to invite everyone. We have several people that have considered themselves like supporting environmental conservation and under the coastal water protectors and the Department of Conservation. We are sort of going through a name update. We're going to be calling it the Department of Conservation because it's not just coastal; it's terrestrial on the lands and everything. So we're working our way through. Um, so yeah, I'm just want to encourage people that will be coming up September 14th from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. And again, we invite members and friends and partners. That's not just for our Métis members, that's for friends of our Métis families and that. Like, we want you to come out and enjoy and just contribute to environmental cleanup and support. And again, that's something that's been paramount to the work we've been doing for a long time now. And I know many of you that watch this show and watch the information we share know that that's what some of the work we're doing as well. I just want to remind people about in terms of the coastal water protectors and the Department of Conservation and the work they do. You can always subscribe on YouTube. You can reach out to them at Coastal Water Protectors on social media. They now are doing a lot of sort of they're doing different audio pieces on Spotify that we've talked about on different shows. But certainly reach out to them, and you can look through them on YouTube at Water Protectors, or you can get a hold of us at the Department of Conservation through Angel Fisher, Zia, or of course Tanner, who have joined the team. And we continue to be very proud of the work of the team and the work that they're doing. So and what I find very interesting and thankful about this group, it's very often youth led, and so I find it's really they're all younger individuals leading this, and I just appreciate that. I want everyone to know that these are very important things for us as an organization. So, yeah. So I'm just going to carry on with some of the other updates, and again, you can follow it on Instagram. They've got lots of information on coastal water protectors on Instagram. They got lots of video clips. I'm always quite impressed with the social media savvy they've got and the work they're doing and so forth. And I guess on Spotify, episode 6 was the a whale of a tale, the Orca man's journey with killer whales. And that was excited to welcome a remarkable guest, the Orca man. And then we did kind of talk about that on the show last month. But this was the Orca, a dedicated Orca expert whose passion for killer whales has shaped his remarkable work. In this episode, he shares the story of how he first became captivated by these apex predators and what led him into a career centered on their study and preservation. And again, this is all about Métis people contributing to better water protection activities. Just whether you're Métis or not, it's about human behavior to protect the environment. Whether we know that we're not saying at the expense of First Nation territorial, terrestrial, or aquatic rights. This is just about us also living in these areas and making sure we're contributing to good human behavior. So, thanks to the team that's doing this work again and again. I just want to remind people we've got a number of employment opportunities again on our job board, and I'm very excited at the annual general meeting. You're going to see a very updated job board feature, and so this is going to be very important to us. Um, we continue to work with Métis individuals, and of course our team with Jennifer, Taylor, and others, Brad, Giroux from the island. They're working on different ways to help find employment. They're loading up new jobs all the time. First of all, individuals seeking work, just you can look at the job board at bcmétis.com/job board. Or of course, you can, if you're a business and you have employment opportunities, let us know. You can contact myself or our team, and of course, all their contact information is on the website. But I would really encourage you to contact either Jennifer off our team or Brad. And so that's all on the contact page of our website. So I just want to encourage people, don't forget about the job board. A reminder on the health-related expenses as well. We do continue to support employment assistance, or emergency assistance program, and we have health-related expenses. Please make sure if you're not sure where to go, you can take your phone right now, put it up to your computer screen or however you're watching, and if you're on your phone, just use the QR code, and it'll bring you to the support we provide. There's an application process, and we continue to help members on a monthly basis. And these are all health-related expenses, whether it's medical supplies, travel costs for medical appointments. These are things that have to be, of course, that the system isn't already helping. And so our team is, really working, and we'll work with the members and the applicants as they come forward. So just make sure, don't forget about these things. So those are sort of some of the key updates. There's a couple other updates, though, I also want to share with everyone. We have some other events unfolding as we speak. Well, I guess not so much as we speak right now. I guess I'll just take that back a second. What I will say is this: I just want to say thank you. I just came back a couple weeks ago in between the last Métis Coffee Talk to our friends in Terrace. I know that I spoke about it earlier on the show, but really, I was really appreciative of the work of the leadership of Terrace, and the Skeena River Métis community. And I talked about this earlier in the show. This was a picture that we took together as a group, and I just want to say, thank you to, of course, Renee Zarman was in the sling. Very sincerely, this man fell just a week before this event off a large wood pile, and he separated his shoulder, and he was playing the fiddle, as you saw earlier, and that's the same ribbon shirt. It's a very significant separation, and Renee, thank you for just soldiering through all that. I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. Thank you to Elizabeth Pierce, the president up there. She was instrumental. They've been doing the Skeena River Skeena Valley Music Festival now for just over 10 years. And there was events prior to that, but specifically the Skeena Valley event they've branded. And it's a way to bring the Métis community together. They had about 150 people come in through the event over the weekend. It costs about $30,000 just to run these events, and they did an amazing job. And just thank you for your leadership there. Roseanne, you're contributing on the music, you're contributing to the event. Thank you for the work you're doing. We know your heart's always in trying to help with everything you can in terms of music and support, and just a great event. Helen, we know Helen is a big contributor to the community up there. Thank you for the work you're doing, Helen. Jordan as a youth rep, he's been learning his place in the provincial board and trying to work with obviously the board, work that he's been doing with locally. He's a young man trying to find young Métis man trying to find his way to help figure out how he can best contribute. And thank you for that work. And Chris, she's a ex RCMP, and I kind of chuckle because she really is ex RCMP. She's very strong in security up there and by the rules, and it's awesome. And she's an amazing person, and she's been there every year. And thank you for your dedication and volunteerism and the work you do to bring that event together. And of course, there's our fearless leader from the island, Earl Belcourt, was up there just where we were there as the Federation supporting. We had a number of us leaders there, and I was happy to be there. But thank you for the work of that community. I know that we saw an event in Fort St. John that we talked about on the show in June with National Indigenous Peoples Day, June 21st, that it was in conjunction with that weekend. But you can really feel community come together, and they faced a lot of challenges running this event. It's always, you can't lose money. And these events, whether they're small or large, take a lot of resources. So thank you to all the partners, and thank you to the community leaders that continue to do that work. And we just want to say how much we appreciate it. I really like the little they gave everyone, they always have a celebration on the on as part of the main dinner event, so Saturday night. And I thought this was great. They usually do a big cake, but of course, then you got to cut it, and you kind of there's a lot of people there, and you don't know, like, don't want people touching your cake or anything. So this year, I think that was very clever. They did these infinity cupcake things. I think I ate about 10 of them, but they were very good. So thank you. I didn't realize you could eat these were edible paper toppings with the infinity symbol. So I didn't realize it until about the third one. But anyways, but very clever, and thank you guys for the work you're doing. And it just, there was a lot of pictures I shared, and and this is just some of the backdrop, and there too, like the Federation, WestJet. I just have to say, we all hear in the media about whether it's Air Canada challenges or WestJet or whatever, but WestJet contributed a flight for two as part of the giveaway prize to this community. Like, this was huge. That's like, has anyone looked at the cost of flying these days? I mean, that was a big contribution. Mike Scott, he's an individual. He was a former member of parliament from that area, but he's with the band with Renee, and he just contributed money, and you can see Northern Development, I'm not sure how to say the sign. It's sort of Roseanne, if you're watching. Shafe Signs, I think that's right. Of course, Peace Region Métis Community Association contributed some support. We had Source, they gave some electronics, Winners, Staples. That's at a local level, and like, you always have to have these partners. So thank you for everyone that partnered and supported that event. And at different times of the day, we had different amounts of people, but it just brings community together. I just want to say again, I've gone on and on about it, but just how much I appreciate all those contributions, and it was great to have our team there. And we just tried to help out wherever we could and kind of stay out of the way of the real leaders. So, thanks to the Spring Fever, Renee, your band, thanks to Rebel Heart, and of course Copper Mountain String Band. We had the Lucier brothers. They're not exactly Federation members. They're more MNBC, but they were there, and I just want to say how much we appreciated having them there. Maybe it's music that's going to bring us together a little bit. So, just want to, and then of course Country Mavericks and everyone. So just want to say thanks to everyone that contributed to that event. I personally thought it was an amazing event. So I just want to say thanks about that. But on that note, let's cut back to some culture, and let's go back to another Back to Batosh special here, because we don't have our usual band in the background. So we're going to go with another Back to Batosh special. This is Corey Putroff, and he's from Whitecourt, Alberta. Many people know who Corey is. He's well-known online fiddler. I certainly love the work he does and so forth. But anyways, we're going to show Corey. This was at Back to Batosh. He was one of the performers there, and there's some fiddling and jigging at the same time. So we'll just show a quick clip of that. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know about you, but I can't barely jig, and I certainly can't fiddle. And this guy's fiddling and jigging, and he's doing it at a world class level. So, congrats, Corey. Thank God there's great cultural ambassadors like yourself. What an amazing performance, and it's just to share our culture in that way. I just makes my heart warm. I'm sure many of you enjoy watching, and that was at the Back to Batoche, and that's the kind of talent that's just sort of a glimmer of whether it was the Northern Dancers we saw earlier, or Corey, or our own Renee Therian, or Roseanne, or other performers. The Métis people were, many of our families were very, when we had a Métis kitchen party, there wasn't a big screen TV 100 years ago. These were the things we did. We fiddled, we jigged and we created our own sort of culture through those sort of activities, right? And it's kind of interesting to see how that unfolded. And that was truly amazing. And thank you, Corey, for sharing your talents with the world. And I know a lot of us weren't able to get out to Back to Batoche days, but at least you got to feel like you were there a little bit here and there through. And there's many other performances. If you look on Facebook on Back to Batoche days, there's a whole series of these videos and vignettes. And I'd encourage you to just enjoy your culture. That's what makes us, such an amazing community. I will always feel so good about that. But anyways, back to the work we've got here in BC. I just want to remind everyone again, I'm really looking forward to seeing many of us next weekend in Victoria on September 7th. We know that this is a long weekend this weekend. We know that there's a lot going on. And so I just encourage people to just really, spend a little time, thinking about your priorities. If you're at our annual general meeting coming up, that's your time to have your voice, to speak up. Is the leadership are we going in the right direction? I say we because I've been acclaimed as president. These are things that we genuinely want to help the community in any way possible that we can. And so, having said that, this now also, really, it really speaks to, the importance of getting involved in political elections, and I just want to remind people that, on that note, like we've invited parties to come, but, it's always difficult because I know as many Indigenous people, you wonder, should we be in like I always think we should have more Métis candidates in provincial and federal elections. It's not because I want to be co-opted into a colonial system because I hear people say these things, but it's difficult to change governments and it's difficult to change policy unless we have candidates that are in those systems. And so, so I would just encourage people to be active. The provincial election, and I spoke about it earlier with some of the representatives, and I do hope the NDP come out. I hope the Green Party confirms. We'll gladly fit them into the agenda. But the provincial election is Saturday, October 19th, coming up in a few months. And so we are getting information from Elections BC. And so I want to thank Melanie for sending this out to us. We just want to make sure that people have this information. There's a voter's guide. I just want to remind people, like, we do need to get out. We need to vote. I'm not here to say what party you should follow. We've had faith in different parties over the years that frankly have not been very effective to help Métis policy and the dynamics between only favoring one Métis group over another. Like we can't have that. And that's, we continue to advance some work on that. But we do need to be involved. And so if we have representatives coming at our annual general meeting, I say this, and I'm sort of winding down the show on this piece because I hope delegates will ask these individuals, what's your position on Métis? When are Métis going to be properly recognized in British Columbia? Because we're here, but they're only either recognizing Métis Nation BC, or they kind of work with us, but they don't really work with us. But no Métis have this kind of representation for the UNDRIP legislation. It's all First Nations. And I'm not here to say that I'm happy for them, but Métis also should be part of that legislative piece. And we're really not. It doesn't matter whether you're an MNBC person or a BC Métis Federation person or is an independent Métis person. The provincial legislation is void of Métis participation on that. And I think we have to ask politicians in BC to do better. And I don't want to get all on my soapbox here, but that's why the federation we formed. We just felt years ago, you can't just be a Métis representative organization, just working with one government because they're one certain party and they just want to help. And they say that, and then you become you're supposed to be apolitical. And our job is to advocate to define Section 35, to work out Métis stuff, So I just really want people to know that if John Rustad is there and Chris Sankey and others, let's ask them. Like, let's make sure they hear our voice and say, okay, so what are you going to do for all Métis in BC, not just a certain club of Métis people? And if anything, and how can they form, and how do they address Métis? Like, how do the Métis fit into the UNDRIP legislation that this province has? Those are things that I would just strongly encourage us to think about. So having said that, it's up to you to choose whatever party. I don't care. You can all just deal with that. I just, I'm very excited about that. I also want to just share one little screenshot. I know that my team probably will be mad at me, but I just think it's really important. We'll be updating the new job portal, and you'll see it at the annual general meeting. I talked about it earlier. And just to give you a little glimmer, if you go to our website now, the job board is very just sort of basic and rudimentary. We're going to be doing a much more robust sort of a job portal piece on our site. And if you're an individual looking, you can click in there. You can have much more specific fields you can search, and it'll give you a better search option and functionality. And if you're an employer, you'll have other functionality as well. So you can. Anyways, you'll see a bit more about the age at the annual general meeting, and our team's working with it. Craig, don't be mad at me. Brad, Jennifer, Taylor. I'm just really excited to share this kind of innovative work that we're doing, and these are the kind of things you'll get at the annual general meeting. So listen, it's the long weekend. I just want to remind people that our office will be closed of course, on Monday in honor of the long weekend. And I know that some of you may be hopefully still trying to, come to the annual general meeting. I just want to really reinforce that, that we are like almost literally, like, we don't know how many more people we literally can fit in the room. And I just want to say to people that does really present a challenge to us. And so, when it comes to the actual, those that are attending, like, I encourage you, like, if you are coming, get there early. It's going to be a lot of people there, and this is the largest annual general meeting we've ever had. And so, it's again, I just want to remind us, it's next Saturday, not this Saturday coming up, next Saturday, September 7th, 2024. Be there. Registration starts at 8 a.m. Our team will be there on site. Prior to that, it's at the Parkside Hotel and Spa in Victoria. That's just downtown, just off of downtown. It's a beautiful hotel, beautiful conference center. We want to see you there. If you're on Vancouver and you haven't registered, you haven't committed, stop in. Those that stop in, you'll get your Tim Hortons gift card. And we've got some special prizes, special gifts we're giving every full member that comes and registers and attends that day. We've got some giveaways we're doing just as a cultural thank you and something to take home as a keepsake for coming to that annual general meeting. And the fact is, here we are 13 years later, going on to 14 years of operation. I remember when we started the Federation, some of you that have been growing with us for years will remember people thought we'll never get off the ground. It'll be just a little group. It'll be nothing. We're now over 6,000 members, representing 6,000 plus members. And I'm just so proud of the team and the work we do. And do we have growing pains every day? There's challenges every day, but to see how far we've come as an organization is heartwarming. So come listen in, come learn, come work with us, come find out what we're doing. Don't listen to negative rhetoric and gossip, and don't let people, suggest that we're not recognized, because that's not true. We are. And I really hoping and encourage and welcome people to come to see that live. So yeah, that's happening. And I just want to remind again, people, if you're in the Vancouver area this weekend and you're looking for something to do and just connect with the local Métis community here in Vancouver, at our office here on Saturday, August 31st, there's parking here at our office building here that we rent in at 3665 Kingsway. It's just on the corner of Kingsway and Boundary Central Park Business Center. We're on the third floor, unit 390. There'll be signage. You come up, there's parking underground here. It's usually space available down there, or there's street parking. Yeah, come here for 12 o'clock at noon sharp. We'd love to see you here. So that's something you can do this weekend on this August long weekend. So yeah, I just want to say thank you to all of you that have been following online, and all of you that have been working with us. Those of you that have been trying to help support the work we're doing as an organization. I just think that there's so much more opportunity we have in front of us. And I just want to say, these things can't be built without us working together and working hard. So I look forward to seeing you at the annual general meeting. I look forward to hopefully you enjoyed the culture and the show tonight. Thank you, everyone. I wish everyone a very safe and healthy long weekend away with family, hopefully. And I look forward to seeing you, I hope, in 9 or so days. My name is Keith Henry. I'm the president of the BC Métis Federation. Thank you for joining me for this weekend. And Renee, we missed you, and Roseanne and the team from Terrace. I usually contribute music, but we know you'll be back next month after the election. And let's all wish Renee a speedy recovery. As well, I should mention, in a twist of irony, Elizabeth Pierce, who the elder and then the community leader in Skeena River, also had fell and had a separated shoulder. So I don't know what's in the water up in Terrace, but that's two people with separated shoulders from the same community. So Elizabeth, we wish you a speedy recovery. We know we'll see you soon. And we just know you're in our prayers and our thoughts, and everyone just we hope for the best for both of you. But for now, I want to say good night to everyone. Thanks for being here. My name is Keith Henry. I'm the president of the BC Métis Federation. Thank you for your support, for acclaiming me as president for yet another term. I'm proud to do this work. It's not easy. I thank all of the members, our board, our staff, everyone that's contributed every little bit, the growing pains, the challenges, the everything. It's not easy. We have a lot of people that like to throw stones from the side, but I really applaud and appreciate everyone that's contributed to our journey. So with that, I say good night, take care, and I'll see you next week.